Hello and welcome to clip 5 of the Project 2019 series. Right, for this clip what we're looking at is the WBS, right, which is known as the Work Breakdown Structure. Now, Project has its own default WBS setup. Okay, every time I'll put a task in here, it will automatically number it as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on. Now that's fine, but if you've got a different type of structure, or if your organization uses a slightly different way of doing things, then Project will allow us to use that. It'll still use its own internal numbering system, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, etc. But it will also allow us to set up our own structure as well. Now, WBS structure is set up by this WBS button here with the drop down arrow. So if I click on that, then I can define the code. Right, so what we're doing here is we're defining our codes that we're going to use. So, sequence is going to be numbers ordered, 1, right, then 2, then 3. Okay, and what that is it means that our tasks will be ordered 1 for the main heading, 2 for the subheading, and 3 for a heading underneath that. Okay, so we could have tasks that start 1 point in the task name, and then 1.1 might be a subtask under that, and 1.11 will be a subtask under that, and of course it goes up to 1.12, 1.13, etc. Okay, so we can actually set this up within Project. Now, for the simple sort of projects that we are using, we don't bother, or I'm not going to bother doing that. I'm just going to use the default Excel project ones that will appear. As I said, very similar to an Excel spreadsheet, so we'll just cancel that just now. However, we can set these up. So let's start by looking at our building project. Okay, so we're going to enter in our first task, and our first task is going to be, of course, clear the site. Right, so I'm going to clear the site, hit the return key, and notice it's put that in as the task name. I've got a number 1 here. Okay, so this is it starting to auto number it itself. And in my task mode, I've got this little drawing pin with a question mark beside it. Okay, now what that drawing pin with a question mark means is that I'm going to be supplying all the information that Project is going to need in order to create the Gantt chart and schedule all the tasks. Now, we don't actually want that. I mean, there's no point using Project if we're not actually going to use the power of the machine. Okay, so we really want to switch that to getting PowerPoint. I was going to say Excel there and then I said PowerPoint, but we're actually going to be getting Project to do all the work for us. So if I click on the down arrow here, you'll see that I've got manually scheduled and I've got auto scheduled. Now I'm wanting Project, sorry, I've got PowerPoint in the brain here. I want Project to actually do all the work for us. So I'm going to auto schedule. Right now, when I auto schedule, I get a slightly different icon here. Right, it automatically fills in the duration, it fills in the start and the finish date for me. Now, because I'm wanting the complete project to be auto-scheduled, I don't want to be changing this every task that I put in. So what I'm going to do is if I go down to the bottom here, click on new tasks manually scheduled. Okay, down on the bar at the bottom. Click on that, and I'm going to turn it on to auto scheduled, right? Because I really want it to be done for me. So click on auto scheduled, right? And it'll change. We'll see now that all new tasks are auto scheduled. Okay, so let's put in the rest of the details. So I've got to clear the site. Right, dig foundations. Right, I know I made a mistake, but we'll sort that out later on. Obtain cement and sand. Mix concrete, and then lay foundations. Okay, so I've got the foundations laid. What else have I got to do? Obtain kit. Erect the kit. Plumbing and electrics, and finally other finishings. Okay, so we've put in our tasks here, right? And again, notice, put them all down as a day of duration because obviously it doesn't know how long they're going to be. We've got our start date and our finish date, and we've also got these little blue bars appearing in our Gantt chart. Okay, which we'll of course have to sort out. Now, first thing I'm going to do is I've got a spelling mistake in dig foundations. I've got foundations. To edit that, all you need to do is double click on the task name, and it brings up the task information dialog box here, right? So I just need to go into the name here and change that. Right, put the U in for foundations and click on OK. Right, so I've got these tasks in, we've got basic information, and that will be us. So thank you for listening, and we will continue on with the next part of the series, which is basically looking at adding in durations. So thank you for listening. Bye just now.